Wait till you get in the picture.
Mm-hmm. Hello to all my wonderful fans. How are you doing today? Well, thank you so much for tuning in today's awesome vlog. Curious on what I'm doing down in my dad's office. I'm introducing my dad to all of you. And we're going to talk about computers.
Thank you for having me on, Chris. I appreciate it.
You're so welcome. Okay, we're going to talk about Windows in computers. And I want to explain to all of you, my dad's been in the industry for a very long time.
Since 1995.
Yep, and he's been building computers, he's been fixing computers for a very long time.
Doing computer software, writing, networking, website development,
Yep.
A lot of stuff in computers since 1995, yes.
Mm-hmm. And you kind of see what my dad's main machine is doing. It's doing a Windows 10 update. And let's talk about old version of Windows.
Well, Windows started out a long time ago.
Mhm.
Its original version 3.1,
Yeah.
everybody knows, carried 7 disks, and you had to install DOS before you could install Windows 3.1.
Yeah.
Since then, we've gotten to Windows 10.
Mm-hmm.
Windows 10 is a unique piece of software where it went into the tile phase, as I call it, where it changed from an actual desktop to a tiled-based software program.
Mm-hmm.
In other words, you don't go out and buy software anymore. Now you download these small apps, and these apps run on your Windows 10 computer. Whether that's good or bad, it left some people wanting to stay with Windows 7,
Mm-hmm.
and those that upgraded to Windows 10 found several problems, but since then it's worked a little bit better, but now we're getting into higher versions of Windows 10 that have some serious problems with it.
Yep, like bugs and stuff like that. My dad's main desktop computer had 1803, and he's upgrading to 1903, basically.
1801.
Yeah, 1801.
1801 to 1903.
Yeah.
There was a problem with 1801.
Mm-hmm.
Microsoft put out an update in 1801 that caused the computer to not recognize hard drives, and also not recognizing hard drives over 2 terabytes. They eventually fixed this with version 1803, but in order to get to 1803 you had to do a fresh install because of the corrupted update.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, once they fixed that corrupted update, a lot of people decided that 1803 was the version that was more stable than 1801. Now we're moving to 1903, which has some unique upgrades to it in both software and programs. So I'm uploading 1903 to test out some of the new programs and upgrades that they put into this particular software. Its actual release date is in May, but you can download it now, and it is available. It's a relatively stable version, although some computers will have problems installing it. The best way to install it is to install it from a USB device and allow it to install while keeping your files and your already existing software. If you install it right from Windows Update, it may take out some of your programs and you may need to reinstall them.
No, that's absolutely true. But let's talk about beta and what's so bad about beta software.
Well, it's not bad. Okay, beta it means that it's a test software.
Mm-hmm.
It means that the people who are using beta software are testing software that's not complete. Okay, and when you test software that's not completely finished, it can create problems with your computers. Now, there are people out there that do beta testing. Okay, I am one of them. I will download versions onto a different computer other than my main computer here
Mm-hmm.
and test out the beta software for manufacturers so that we can find out what bugs exist, what problems will occur, so that the engineers who are writing the software can actually fix these problems before the actual version is released to the public.
Absolutely. Now, me, I'm just a user of Windows. We all use different things. But I don't much mind Windows 10. I think Windows 10 is a very stable operating system. Now, we don't know how long Windows 10 is going to last. We don't know if it's going to be any new versions of Windows. But here's the thing. It's basically a version change from numbers to numbers. It may look the same, may look different. It all depends on what you want to use.
Well, yes, there are a lot of operating systems out there, both Linux, Macintosh, or Mac,
Mm-hmm.
and of course Windows. Now they're all stable.
All
Depends
pretty
on what you depends on what you like to use.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I've used Linux, I've used Mac, and I've used Windows. And to be perfectly honest with you, I favor none of them, or I favor them equally. They all have their good points. They all have their bad points. However, 90% of the people out there are using either Mac or Windows, and I would imagine a majority of people are using Windows.
Mm-hmm.
Now, like Christopher said, when Windows comes out with a new version, okay, it is a version. It's not an actual new program. It's just updates to the original version, which keeps evolving. Like I said, we've gone from 1801 to 1803 and now to 1903 itself,
Yep.
which we are still uploading at.
Yep.
Uh,
Now installing.
Right. Mac has constant updates because it's open source, and Linux is open source. So basically, with Linux, you are downloading things that people have written that may not be tested,
Test it, or
Yeah.
even compatible with
even
your
compatible
machine.
with your machine. So as far as Windows is concerned, there has been talk. Now I don't know whether it's true or whether it's just people talking or just wishful thinking. But there has been word that Windows 12 is being developed and in development. Now what that holds, whether it's true or not, I have no idea. It could be a completely different version or completely different looking Windows environment. Mac has upgraded their versions. The one thing I like about Mac is now that you can use a Windows environment in Mac, which you could not do before.
Nope.
Linux has gotten to the point now where the GUIs are similar to Windows and are similar to Mac, so it makes it easier for you to use Linux. Now we've got units out that are Android based.
Oh, Android, absolutely.
Yes.
Mhm.
I am in the process of evaluating Android units like the S10. The S10 is a small box that works like an Android phone, although it does not make phone calls. And it's used with the apps from Google and other manufacturers. And the nice thing about it is it can hook up to a TV, it can hook up to a computer, and you can use your TV or your computer just like you can use your cell phone. And it's a unique piece of equipment. A lot of people have decided to turn off their cable TV in favor of these small boxes. But you still need internet, which a lot of them didn't understand before they turned off their provider.
Yeah.
So when we get to the S10 and we can evaluate it better, we can give you more information on that.
Yeah. And see, my dad's been doing a lot more computer tech than I have. He's still an IT person. He still goes out and fixes computers. I mean, he has about 1, 2, 3 computers sitting here, and he's still working on. Some are very old. Some have Windows XP. Some have even Windows
Yes.
Vista on it.
There are customers out there that do like Windows XP for whatever reason. Just so that you're aware of it, if you're using Windows XP, there are no more updates for it.
Nope.
Unless you're using Windows XP in a hospital or
bank.
a bank or whatever, because all their systems are based on Windows XP, and their software has not quite caught up to what their needs are. However, Windows XP has extremely large holes in it, and if you put it into a network, it will allow people to get into your network, which is why you see on the news where companies and towns and cities and hospitals have been held by ransomware, because they're using some form of XP that allows an exploit to take place, which then grabs the computer and changes all of your software and files into what is called a digital code. Now, in order to get your information back, you have to have the key to that digital code. And if you don't have the key, you can't get into your material. This is why ransomware is so bad, because these people, they have the key, and in order to get the key, you have to pay them money, or in some cases bitcoins, and there's no way other than reconstructing a computer or reinstalling it, or going to a completely new system sometimes to fix them.
Yeah.
Now, there are times where people have paid for it and have gotten a key, but there are other times people have paid for it and still not gotten a key.
Absolutely.
So if your computer is XP based, you have a better chance of getting a virus that can infect your network, or be attacked by ransomware, or Trojans, or other kinds of malware products. XP is not compatible with the newer software from Norton or McAfee or Malwarebytes, and sometimes gets past your firewalls and your antivirus software.
Well, alright. There's some of the history of what my dad used to do. I really do appreciate my dad coming on and talking to all of you about computers. And also networking and stuff like that as well. Alright, if you guys and girls are supporting the news channel, please hit that subscribe button. Leave a comment down below. Please like, please share. Peace out. We'll hopefully see you in the future videos. And have a nice day. And thank you so much, Dad, for joining me.
You're welcome. Thank you.